Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
This is your brain on the box. This is my brain on the box. Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
Of course! Haven't you ever seen a Western?
Yeah, I have, Doc. Clint Eastwood never wore anything like this.
Down. Take it down.
Lower fifth would be like turkeys on Thanksgiving down there.
Hello and welcome to the Brandon Peters podcast.
See, people, most guests don't do that for me. Most guests don't intro. That's very respectful to.
You know what I always like about in like at the beginning of podcasting was when like the guest is like, "Is it okay to swear?" And then they're like, "Yeah, of course." I always wanted to do that. Be like, "Is it okay to swear?" Then just drop a hard N-word right away.
Go for it, dude. Right off the jump. Yeah, I think that would not do well on YouTube. But I mean, like, if
Demonetized.
Yeah, like I think once we're like half an hour in, we can start saying the N-words.
I'm not actually. I swear I'm not going to do that. But like, how funny would that be if you're just like you're on a podcast with like Chris Hardwick, and then you're like, "Can I say a swear?" He's like, "Dude, just go crazy." And just
That's respectable. To ask
Yeah.
first is a respectable quality. I don't know. Do you get in? Well, yeah. Once I think I looked recently at the stats on the YouTube, which is a very humbling experience. But I saw that the retention rate on this is like it's like 8 minutes. So like once
that's pretty good.
Once we hit like that like an 8-9 minute mark, then you can.
Then we just start talking shit, man.
Yeah. So we just have to like be polite and respectful for about 6.5 more minutes, and then.
We'll wait till 8 minutes. Then we're like, what comic do you think is secretly mean?
Secretly mean?
Secretly mean. Who do you not like?
If somebody's secretly mean, like what, they're just being mean in private.
Okay, who do you have a crush on?
Who do I have a crush? Okay, yeah, 9 minutes we'll disclose, and then yeah, no, it's just Simon. There's actually there's a little bait and switch. This isn't even a real podcast. This is a trick.
I wanted it to be like one of those Call Her Daddy podcasts where we're like blowing guys is like this. You go, ah.
Yeah, dude, I tried listening to a Call Her Daddy back in the day.
Was it good?
No, dude, it's not for dudes. Oh. I don't actually no. You can. I think if I remember correctly, they were dishing out some advice for dudes, but it's like it's mostly like sex advice, sex talk kind of podcast, I think.
Yeah, what a weird podcast to get sex advice from two incredibly hot women. Because it's like, what are you gonna give me in terms of like sexual advice? Like, you just go out, you have sex with, and then people will have sex with you, and then you make millions of dollars off of your podcast talking about it.
Oh man, like see, like when you like a regular podcast, like you just kind of have to like live life, and then you get like and then you have experiences and talk about it. But for that, it's just like you have to. That's a lot of fucking.
Sounds like you're mansplaining podcasting to me.
I am. But
I'm Darby Skidworth girlfriend. Don't talk about podcasts. I know everything already.
No, but a sex talk podcast, yeah, it's like you just have to fuck a lot to have material to talk about.
Damn. Well, this is going to be a short one.
I don't know. Yeah, that's.
Are you when you hear somebody was telling me that they just don't like sex jokes, and it made me feel spectacularly uncomfortable because I was like, you've heard me tell so many gross sex jokes.
Dude, I do quite a bit of sex jokes as well, and I don't know. I feel like it makes people uncomfortable a little bit. Sometimes I don't.
If it doesn't go well, then you really just like talked about how you finger banged to a bunch of people who weren't interested in the. Yeah, you just take that ride,
dude. I tried doing a joke, which who knows, maybe it'll come back out again one day. But I tried doing this joke, like where I was telling this story about how I like puked on a girl during sex, and like I don't know, I guess there wasn't like enough funny in it, so they just felt bad. Like they were like, I got like there was like it was like a loud.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the worst when it's just sympathy.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want you to feel bad. I don't know. I find that happens often. Like when I try, like with jokes, I try I'll try to like write something about that I just like think is like inherently funny, but then I don't know. Most people probably find it like weird or something.
Yeah, but also like if you don't do that, then you're gonna wind up with like very bland material that even you aren't interested in.
I guess, yeah.
I feel like that's just what happens if people aren't saying stuff that they're like scared to say, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and it's almost like ripping the Band-Aid off a bit. Like when like after telling a joke, it wasn't even a joke. Let's just call it a story. Just telling a story about how I threw up on a lady's face. I don't know. I guess
you could tell me the story.
Oh, dude, you wanna hear the story? Okay, this was like, we'll let the audience judge as well. I'm just gonna get a lot of like aw comments and shit. They're gonna be sad.
Kendall's just in her hospital bed, like ew,
Yeah. Gross.
Oh man, no, it was like this was like 2-3 years ago. I was like hanging out with this girl or whatever. Like, I went to her apartment and we smoked like a lot of weed. She had some very powerful weed, and then we were like in her room, just like hanging out, and like she had like these like LED lights like around like her entire ceiling, and they were like set on this like pulsing setting, and like I wasn't like really close enough with this girl to, like started making demands and shit, like yo, turn that off. Like I don't know, I just felt like uncomfortable to tell her to turn it off, and then we watched like an entire season of this show called like Solar Opposites, I think it's called. It's like a Rick and Morty show or something.
Yeah.
And like by like the season finale, I was like so nauseous from these lights. And then we started like kind of, you know, kissing and stuff, and I was like on top, and then like I just couldn't hold it back. I just like threw up on her like face and her clothes and stuff, and oh man, it was kind of, and then I just jumped out of bed, and then like I ran into her bathroom to like puke more, and I get in the bathroom and there's like more lights like on the same setting like in the bathroom, and like a bunch of like BTS posters on the wall and stuff, and I was just,
how old was she?
Like the same age as me.
Okay.
So yeah, she would have been like, I don't know, like 20, 21, something at the time. And then I go back into the room like to grab my stuff to like leave, because I'm just like assuming after you puke on a lady that like your sex is probably off the table. When I come back and she's like changed, she's in like a different outfit, and then like she was like, yeah, we can like still.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was a bit of a redemption.
Sounds like she's looking for material for her podcast.
Dude, yeah, this story might have already been told from a worse perspective already.
He puked in my face and I only blew him 19 times as punishment.
I don't think I got head, which I don't think I was mad about. It'd be weird to be mad about it, but then we fucked, and then I just like took a bus home.
Oh man, I think the only time that I've ever had a one night stand, I had to take the bus home too. It's it's such like a cute, like, no, you're just sitting on the bus like nobody knows what I did.
Yeah, you feel like a Michael Cera character or something like that. I was just like you're like having some quirky sex. And then
people are going to work and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
People are in overalls and ready to go to Ricky's All Day Grill to be a server. You're like, my dick is still wet.
Yeah, you're just like leaving the apartment. There's like a guy like 2 doors down leaving in a suit to go to his fucking corporate job. And you're like, what a pussy hag. Taking the bus home. This guy has no idea what I just
whisper to him, you should smell my finger. Smell it.
You're just in the elevator with him. You're just don't even look at him. Just like just wave your fingers in his face. Yo, smell my finger.
Oh, hey, it's an interesting tapestry on the... Just get your finger right up next to him.
You recognize this smell? You ever got some of this? Got on a bus? No. That might have been, I don't know. That was like the bus thing. That was maybe like I don't know. I've probably only done that like 2 or 3 times, taking the bus. But yeah, it does feel like feels kind of like a breakthrough moment.
It's fun just feeling better than everybody else on the bus, because usually on the bus I'm just like, I'm one of these guys.
But probably, if you're leaving like that early, there's probably like 2 other guys on the bus that also just fucked, and then they're looking at you like, oh, this guy, like, what a loser. Like,
you guys nod at each other?
You all make each other smell your fingers? Yeah, you would, to get on the bus, you don't even pay. You just put your fingers in front of the bus driver's face.
Call it the night bus.
And then he just kind of just waves you to go back like he knows what's up.
Man, I would love to be that one bus driver who's getting people to pay him and smelling their finger. Because a lot of people would try and fake that. They just try and rub their finger in like the gutter and stuff.
It's just like homeless ladies just finger themselves before they get on the bus.
Hey, that's not pussy. Come on, that's KFC. You could ride anyway. You're having a good time.
Toonie Tuesday, man.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to get on the bus without like money?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like after school back in the day when like everybody would just like swarm the bus doors. Like yeah, you could get away with it.
I would just straight up ask the bus driver if I could just not pay, and then he'd be like, "Oh," and I'd be like, "Ugh," and then he'd be like, "All right," and then I just 100. It worked 100% of the time.
He'd make you smell his finger.
Well, it's just like bus drivers are usually like pretty like they have like that's not the worst thing that's going to happen to them that day, and it's like it doesn't cost them anything. They don't have like a quota.
Dude, I saw you know how the city of Edmonton, they apparently have like a bunch of like electric buses now.
Yeah,
you heard about this? I heard that they only have enough battery to last like one route, and like I think a bunch of them they all got like frozen the batteries, so they're all fucked up. But I saw that like only like maybe like 30% of like the bus drivers in the city can actually like fit in the bus because like the seat area is apparently like much smaller.
Oh, so they have like expectations for the bus drivers to lose weight before riding.
I guess, yeah. But then like a bunch of them like who were forced to like drive this bus, I guess a bunch of them are on like disability now.
Because they're so fat?
Yeah, or I guess they might be faking it, saying that the new bus hurt them. But
yeah, you know what the meanest type of bus driver is? It's called a female bus driver.
Yeah.
Every female bus driver is so fed up, so ready to fucking start a fight. Yeah, I think that's the only type of bus driver that wouldn't let me ride for free. Because like, you'd be driving and then... Well, I don't take like the bus around the city anymore. I take a bus from Edmonton to Calgary.
Like a Greyhound kind of thing, or
no? There's no Greyhounds anymore. I take it's called an e-bus, and then like it's always a lady, and she's always like has dementia. At one point, I was riding from Edmonton to Calgary, and she like stopped the bus to play with the DVD player.
Well, they put movies on in there?
Yeah. Well, like it didn't end up working, so she just stopped the bus for 15 minutes for no reason.
And she didn't fix it?
Yeah. So we just didn't, and it's like I didn't really want to watch that anyway. She was trying to get us to watch the movie Batman Forever.
Batman. That's is that Val Kilmer Batman?
That's Val Kilmer Batman. Yeah.
Damn, dude. Wait, who's the? Is there a Robin in that Batman?
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell.
Okay.
The ultimate twink.
Dude, it's been a while since I've seen Batman Forever. Who's the bad guy in that one? Was that
that was Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Oh, Jim Carrey is the Riddler.
Oh, maybe I might have watched like the first because like the first like 10 minutes of that is like the Riddler, right? He's like working in an office or something.
Let me think. Yeah, he works in an office and then he creates like a weird like blender thing that you put on the top of your head.
Yeah.
That it takes all of your thoughts away and like turns you into like sort of a zombie that loves watching television. This was like very prescient back in like 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 1996, where it's like, whoa, TV is ruining your brain. And then it turns out like he gets smarter when he steals other people's brain power. And then by the very end, he's like, yeah. It's like pre-internet, like fear of technology, and it's like even looking at that now, it's like that wouldn't even be that bad, you know?
What, just watching TV a lot and enjoying it?
Yeah, that's basically like the bad guy in Batman Forever is like somebody sitting down watching television, then somebody else like extracting. I guess like in some ways it's like not totally chill that they're stealing their thoughts, but I don't know. I mean, compared to like what Bane wanted to kill all the cops.
Yeah. Yeah, Joker was like blowing up hospitals and shit.
Yeah, I watched Dark Knight, and oh my God, what a perfect analogy for the Middle East.
Elaborate. We're like 13 minutes in, so nobody's watching this. So,
oh boom. Well, I'm in love with. Have you watched The Dark Knight recently?
Probably like a few months ago. Well, I've seen
I know
like
it's basic to say, but it really is like the best movie that's ever been made.
And it's kind of long too. It's like 3 hours, or it's like 2.5 hours maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it goes by quick. It is a good movie.
Yeah, like the worst scene in Dark Knight is the best scene in like 90% of movies.
What do you think the worst scene in the?
There's a point when they're going into in the Dark Knight.
Or the Dark Knight. Oh no, not the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises. Oh, Dark Knight Rises is Bane, right?
Dark Knight Rises is Bane. Yeah, that one's kind of trash. But the worst scene in the Dark Knight is they're going into the underground driving section of Gotham. Like you have to,
It's
you
like
have to
the
go
underground freeway kind of thing. Right?
Yeah,
And he's
before
on the
like the
bike?
big Joker attack.
Okay, right.
Which is like the best scene. So at the beginning of that scene, one of the drivers looks at the other drivers and like, oh no, we have to go down 96th Street. We're gonna be like turkeys on Thanksgiving down there. And it's so clearly like a British guy thinking like, this is what a police officer would say if he was really, really scared.
Like, yeah, we're gonna get popped like Macy's Thanksgiving Parade balloons, man.
Oh no, George Washington's down here.
But for the whole rest of the movie, I was talking to my girlfriend, like, oh my God, Joker's like turkey on Thanksgiving down there.
It was like one of the Joker goons that was saying it, or
No, one of the police officer that was
Oh, it was the
driving
cop, right, okay, yeah.
Dent down into the, it's like a parkade. I don't know what it was.
that's when they're like they're in the big semi truck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna be like a turkey on Thanksgiving down here. Oh no!
Gobble, 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 Batman.
I hope Batman's here because I'm feeling like a turkey on Thanksgiving over here.
Gobble, gobble, Gotham, dude. Damn, does the Joker have a hunting license? Because I'm feeling like I feel like a deer right now.
Half Dent's faces. It's like I got roasted like a turkey on Thanksgiving over here.
Joker's gonna turn us into a bag of beef jerky.
Feel like turkey jerky.
Oh, man.
The other really only bad scene in Dark Knight was when Joker convinces Harvey Dent to go and kill Batman because he killed his girl. Like, he's there. He obviously just killed Harvey Dent's girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like they're in the hospital, right?
And he's like, hey, I'm just like crazy, dude. So don't even worry about it. You should kill Batman. And then Harvey's like, I should kill Batman. And it's like there's no logical reason for him to go kill Batman.
But were they kind of setting up like a Two-Face, or I don't think so. No, they didn't. They didn't bring him back. And
no, well, he dies at the end of the Dark Knight.
Oh, right.
They're definitely setting up more Joker movies, but then that Australian guy died young, as Australians are wont to do.
Yeah, that was like. Did he die like right before the movie came out or something?
Yeah, right before the movie came out.
He like overdosed in like a hotel room or
Yeah,
something.
overdosed on fucking being nuts.
No, I've heard people say that like that role like ruined him, but
I don't know. I mean, I've heard conflicting stories because he was definitely doing drugs, but like lots of people do drugs.
yeah.
But I guess like he was having insomnia and he overdosed on Ambien. And one of the Olson twins, it was like her Ambien. So she was like, in some ways, like she was going to be prosecuted for accidental manslaughter.
The Joker was hanging out with the Olsen twins.
It is funny that the Olsen twins were able to do what Batman was never able to do. You ever seen one of those direct to DVD like It Takes Two movies with the Olsen twins?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, just when next time you watch one, just know that they fucking
Like,
destroyed
I've seen
Batman.
I'm just picturing like the baby from like Full House fucking killing the Joker. Dude. Cut it out. Cut it out, Joker.
It's so funny that you know those references because you're so young. Did you ever watch Full House?
Dude, I used to love Full House. I remember when I was a kid, like I was blessed with the Full House like DVD set. It was in like one of like the $5 bins at Walmart.
Right.
Binge watched Full House, dude.
Yeah, I was watching it as it was coming out in the late 80s and early 90s, and it was literally like my family's favorite show.
I love that show, dude. Full House is awesome. Danny Tanner.
Yeah. It was like back in the day when like there was a slow drip of cool guys in TV shows. It wasn't like everybody's a cool guy.
Yeah.
It was just like, Uncle Jesse. I loved Uncle Jesse. I loved Joey. And then there's like this whole, I had to wait for the whole show for like 20 minutes to get to it, like a Jesse and Joey storyline.
Yeah.
But it was worth it because I was patient back then.
And Uncle Jesse's fucking, what's the aunt's name?
Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca. Yeah, as a young boy, I had the hots for Aunt Rebecca, dude.
Yeah. Now there's no like sitcoms where it's like, oh, hey, we accidentally saw each other naked scenes.
No.
Yeah. On like Who's the Boss, there'd be like almost nudity and you'd be like, holy shit. And then that would change you. That would be like fundamental to your sexual development.
I think that like format of TV should come back. They need to do that. I don't know how feasible that. Well,
because those shows had to be everything to everybody, so they had to have like a horny scene. They had to have like represent a certain culture scene. They have to do everything in like 25 minutes. It was so satisfying.
And it wraps together beautifully.
Yeah. I can't remember a single plot line, and I watched every episode.
Yeah, I don't remember much either.
I remember them at different locations.
Yeah, but like they'd go to a park every once in a while.
Yeah.
they just they loved having picnics.
Yeah, I remember them better than a lot of my own memories.
Full out. It's just that's what you have instead of your own childhood memories. But that's kind of sick though. You have an Uncle Jesse and stuff.
Yeah, I actually have an Uncle Pip who's addicted to heroin.
The guy might be cooler than Uncle Jesse. It kind of sounds like. Did he have like a nice leather jacket or anything?
He did have a leather jacket.
Sick, dude.
Until the government came.
Oh, it took the leather jacket. That's sad. What other shows were you fucking? Were you big into?
I don't know. I think I remember really liking Ghostbusters. There's a lot of pictures of me as a little kid dressed as a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And I think that. Yeah, I really liked how they were just like blue collar guys doing something supernatural. I thought that was my favorite part about them, because it also made me believe that we could fight ghosts, and I was really scared of ghosts.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Yeah, dude, I think I had a little Ghostbusters. I was big into like Back to the Future. That was my one. Fucking when I was a young man. Back to the Future.
Yeah. Really? Have you seen like the videos of Eric Stoltz as the guy?
Yeah. They filmed like half of the movie with him, right? And then they replaced him.
Yeah, I think it was because it wasn't a comedy with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, it was more like dramatic. Some of the scenes because then they did like shot for shot, like had to refilm what they did with him, right?
Yeah, but there's this really good quote from David Fincher where he's like, "I am not very good at filmmaking. I just really like reshooting stuff." And apparently, like, the movie was bad, and then they reshot it, and then it was good. So it's like, oh, that actually like totally makes sense, because when you watch Back to the Future, it's so perfect. It's like that was their first try. Just like every single scene just connects perfectly to everything.
Yeah.
But apparently, they just like go back and like reshoot something when it didn't work, and they just didn't talk about it. Now, if like a Marvel movie has like too many lesbians, they're like, we got to reshoot this with more lesbians. And it's like on the news, but they've been doing that since the beginning.
Yeah, just reshooting shit.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, that movie would have been trash with Eric Stoltz, I think.
Yeah, Eric Stoltz.
Michael J. Fox.
Who would be the worst person to replace him with? Who's that? There's a comic that's like they want to reshoot Back to the Future with a black guy, but it's like you can't go back as a black guy because it's just they don't want to go back.
No. Yeah, I thought does somebody have that joke?
Somebody's got to have that joke. It's like too. I can't remember who it is, but I know that at the back of my mind somebody wrote that.
What do you think the best Back to the Future is? You seem like a number 2 guy.
I don't know. I don't like how smug you said that.
I don't know. That was just like a guesstimation. I don't know. Are you a Back to the Future 1 guy, or
are you a fucking loser? I'm definitely not a Back to the Future 3 guy, because it's like that's just an excuse that filmmaker used to have like make a Western.
Yeah, dude, I like Back to the Future 3. I like his little outfit that he wears, with like the pink and like yellow shirts, and he's got like little red pants on. That's fucking. I like that one, but I feel like for a third one, they could have gone somewhere much better than the.
Well, the problem was that they were like, okay, well, we went back to the future. Now we have to go way, way to the past.
Yeah,
and it's like the past sucks dick.
But I think what happened? I think Doc, he ends up back there because like he's being sentimental and shit, right? Because he loves that time period. But then he got stuck.
Yeah, but fucking whatever.
Marty had to save him, dude. There was a cowboy Biff.
Yeah, but it's just go back to like Greek times, or like go back to, or go way into the future where it's just like only like floating amoebas and stuff and robots. He's like, Doc, everything's just energy.
Yeah, there's like a Biff energy orb thing.
You're got my last nerve, McFly. But the sound waves become like pyramids and stuff.
Yeah, intergalactic Biff, dude.
Back to the distant future.
No, I don't. I think also Back to the Future 3 might have just been an excuse to make.
Wait, Marty has to dress up like an amoeba, and it's just like a garbage bag that's been spray painted.
No, I like the train in the Back to when they make the time machine train.
All right, now I get it.
But I don't know. They could have gone somewhere so much cool. But I don't know. I feel like they were limited to the Hill Valley area, right? Because they kind of just drive.
I know. I know thematically, like it makes sense that they went back to the West, and like that's the time where it's like then they're just, if they went like probably 100 years earlier, then they're just fighting against like Aboriginal people.
Yeah,
First Nation, back to the First Nations past.
Doc, you're telling me you built a time machine out of a teepee? Back to the wigwam, man.
Back to the Wigwam is great title, but man, so problematic.
Yeah, probably. We're 25 minutes in, man. Nobody even heard that.
Yeah, there we go. Do you have a lot of listeners?
On YouTube, I'm averaging like 60, 70 now.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's actually I'm happy with that. It's good.
Yeah. Are you hoping to create an empire?
I don't know what the overall goal with this is. It's kind of fun, man. Just
Yeah, you just hang
hanging
out with your
out.
buds.
yeah, exactly, dude. I don't know. I don't have an overall fucking.
Have you had Adrian Creel on the show?
Yeah, he was. I think like a couple episodes. If you're listening to this, go back and listen to that one, man. Adrian was sitting right here, dude. We had a whole conversation. But yeah, he's been on there.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't know. That was kind of a given. He just like listened to me, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. But
He's a get.
yeah, he is a get, and I got him.
Dude, I want to start a podcast just to have Adrian on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have so many questions. Like why are you, you know? What's up with you? Fucking tell me.
What's some burning Adrian questions you have? I'm gonna try my best to answer them
What is
based on what I've learned from living with him for like 2 months.
what is going on in your mind that makes it so cluttered?
I'm just like thinking about like being a girl all the time and stuff. And not
He's gonna be
cutting
the
my
first
hair.
guy to like anamorph into a girl just through sheer thought.
Yeah, I think he's like manifesting it, dude. He's manifesting the
Fem-ifesting.
Oh man, no, yeah, he talks about it a lot. It could be possible, which I'm cool with.
Oh yeah, if he becomes a girl, then it's like jigs up on me making fun of him.
Yeah,
Then it's like, oh, what are we? It's gonna be. We're gonna be on the road together, and then I'll just have to be like, so how is your family?
yeah, you're just gonna
I'll
have to like
actually know who he is.
yeah, or just like fuck him or something. I don't
Oh yeah,
could do that.
Didn't even think of that.
Well, he's gonna manifest like probably a beautiful vagina, I guess.
His dick just sucks back into his body, like
Dude,
a
for the
turtle.
longest time, that's what I thought. I thought a vagina was just like an inside out dick, probably until I was like 12.
Yeah, I don't think I really understood the concept of coming till probably 13 or 14.
Yeah, I think that's around the right age of where you kind of crack the code a bit. Because before you're kind of just like practicing and it just your
Yeah.
whole body just shakes and nothing happens, right?
Well, I remember thinking that it was more like just like the idea of a vagina and penis being like the connection was like would psychically create a baby. I didn't think that there was any biological element to it. I thought it was just like a form of like psychic energy that just sort of it just slowly builds baby.
Yeah, you just kind of plug it in and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
does the rest.
yeah.
That
Like
makes
plugging
sense,
in a hard drive and then
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the Windows update or something, like when they used to come on a disc. You just put it in, and then now you got something new.
Yeah, I thought babies were created through like the airdrop technology.
You can just airdrop some cum into a lady's vagina. It's like, yo, I'm gonna turn on your phone. I'm gonna airdrop you a baby real quick.
You ever go to a coffee shop and you just have like a funny meme and you're gonna airdrop it to your buddy who's with you, and you're just like, whatever. Then you just drop it to everybody at the coffee shop.
I'm not in coffee shops too often, but like back in high school, me and one of my friends, we one time we went to like a Walmart, right? And then like before we went in, we took like weird pictures in the car. Like I took a picture of me like shirtless, like holding like Reese's cups like over my nipples.
Yeah.
And then we just like walked around the Walmart and we're just like airdropping it to people and stuff. So yeah, there's a couple fellas out there with pictures of Reese's cups over for nipples.
Yeah, and you were in high school at the time?
Yeah, probably like the grade.
How many people do you think you sent it to?
It was like a midday, like Sunday at a Walmart, so it wasn't like crazy packed. I don't know. There's probably like 6 people out there, but
Okay.
lots of people.
So there's like
rejected
probably
it.
a 1 in 6 chance of a pedophile.
Yeah, I guess I would have been under 18 at the time. So what an awful prank to play on somebody, dude. I could have, should have.
That's why people have
something.
VPNs. Just
Does that block out airdrops?
I don't know, but I know that a lot of people in child pornography, in the world of child pornography, have VPNs to prevent people from knowing that they're getting it.
Nice. This podcast is brought to you by NordVPN. Use code Simon Glassman.
It's this guy Nord who's just like, this is how you trick people into thinking you're not a pedophile. I'm Nord and I approve this not being a pedophile. I was thinking about, were you molested as a kid?
Not that I'm aware of.
But that's the thing is, like, if you're not aware of it, then it's like you either didn't get molested or you got molested worse than anyone.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I've either blocked it out or whoever did it was really good.
You mean sneaky?
Yeah, sneaky. Yeah,
Like a smooth criminal.
a smooth criminal. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have been a child, so I probably would have been the smooth one. They would have just been the criminal.
Yeah, they're the old textured criminal.
No, I don't. Yeah, I've had that thought before too. There's probably so much stuff of my life that's just gone. You know,
So
it's like,
yeah,
I could have been like 5-time molested or something, maybe a bunch, but I just forgot it.
damn.
I don't know. Were you
are you
ever
okay? I definitely wasn't. I'm positive I wasn't molested because like all the worst things I feel like I remember the best.
Nice. I
I
was
don't
kind of hoping
say
you were gonna have
anything
like
for
a
the rest
good.
of the podcast.
I was hoping you were gonna have like a good molestation story there. So
No, I mean, thinking back, it's every instance where I'm like, oh, I wish I could get rid of that memory. That's the one that I remember the most. Like one time on Christmas Day, I walked in on my uncle taking a shit, and he was like, "Get out of here! Don't! What are you doing?" And he's like, trying to hide his little penis and stuff. And before that, we had like a great relationship.
yeah.
And he'd like show me all of his like carpentry stuff, and then that happened, and he's like I molested him.
Yeah. Maybe he blocked that memory out.
No, he definitely, because it's like we still don't talk anymore.
Really? Like, how old were you at that point?
I was probably like 12.
Damn, I'm picturing it as like that scene from like Home Alone, you know, when like the uncle's like in the shower or whatever, and then like little Kevin runs in.
Yeah.
And he
It
gets
was
really
it was
mad.
like that, but with not played for comedy. It was just like a genuinely humiliated man with
Was
daughters.
he like wiping his ass, or he was sitting down?
No, he had a long T-shirt. I didn't see his penis or anything.
Oh, okay,
He had a
nice.
long T-shirt, like a nightgown, like Scrooge.
He's just shitting in a little nightie.
He had a nightcap on. It was in the 17th century Dickensian era.
He was holding like a little like a candlelight, just like old timey slippers on and shit.
3 ghosts will visit you while you're taking a shit tonight.
Oh,
One of them will look like your nephew. He will laugh.
Oh, you were the ghost of Christmas present then, I guess. I feel like, hey,
In many ways, yeah.
nice, dude.
How long is this
funny
podcast?
it's funny that he just kind of ghosted you after that.
Yeah, he ghosted me.
Oh, he was the ghost of Christmas present. Oh man, yeah, that would probably be horrible as a grown man having that just a little kid run in on you.
Yeah, and it's like it was so sensitive, and I felt so bad for him because like I told every member of my family like upstairs and was like, oh my god, I just saw Uncle and he was taking a shit downstairs, and my mom was like, don't tell us about that, and then I told them everything.
Yeah, it probably it kind of makes sense that he stopped talking to you, dude.
Yeah, it does, and it's weird because when you're a little kid, you don't have anything else to talk. You have like the one little bit of gossip, like
Yeah.
he shits.
Shit stinks, dude. Probably told people at school and stuff, eh?
Yeah, I think I did.
For show and tell, you just come in with a picture of your uncle taking a shit. Nah, dude, I don't have any fucking like really like traumatic experiences like that with family. I don't think.
Yeah, I have other ones that I won't talk about.
Yeah. I don't have anything that could be kind of played up to be funny.
Yeah, when all my memories are just things that I'm like, ugh, you know. It's weird because it's your brain being smart. It's your brain being like, these are things that you should remember in case so they don't end up happening again. So that's why that you remember them so much better, or why I remember them so much better. But it's like I don't want to go through like the Rolodex of my memories and have like, oh yeah, remember that my grandma's birthday, or like that time that guy was nice to me. But it's like no, it's just like weird, humiliating stories or things that I'm like deeply ashamed of.
That's probably like some like ancient like fucking biological shit, you know, like your brain would like remember if you like ran into like a bear or something, and then it's like all you thought about. Like,
my defense is like, take off your pants, take a shit, and then the bear's like, no, don't look at me, no, don't tell my daughters. Shit, completely naked.
Oh man, I don't think I've ever walked in on somebody shitting. Now that I think about it,
I used to go to a lot of coffee shops, and I'd always get somebody would always like try and open the door while I'm taking a shit.
Yeah,
and yeah, I would be like, no.
Get a little flashback.
Yeah, it was just so much stress every single time because I was a long pooper back then.
Damn, are you a big coffee shop guy? You frequent the coffee shops?
Yeah. Well, I don't have an actual workplace. Like this whole working from home thing I was doing like way before COVID.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never been a coffee shop guy, but yeah, often on like a weekend, I feel like I could become one. But it's kind of you have to like, go there like looking like you're doing something.
Yeah, definitely. You can't just sit there without your phone.
No, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of stupid to pull out your phone. You got to be doing it. You got to have like a computer or something, like a book.
I've gone to all of there's a coffee shop that was right by the university. The Second Cup. Second Cup is the worst coffee in the world, but like it's such a great workspace because nobody wants it, and it's just subsidized by the government so that Starbucks doesn't take over. So
is that true?
Oh yeah, like there's. Really? Nobody. Have you ever seen somebody drinking Second Cup coffee?
Well, like, they've been like fucking eradicated. It almost seems like I haven't seen.
There's a couple of them that are still around, but I'm pretty sure it's subsidization.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I would go there to be completely empty, and when there's like one person there or like two people there, you'd hear their entire conversation because the acoustics were perfect. One guy would always come. He had like a big gray beard, and he'd talk about like. He seemed like he was a professor at the university, but I wasn't sure. He would talk about demonology, and like the different demons that he's like encountered in his life as like a professor. And then he'd always be like talking to like young girls about it, and they'd be like so into it. And I probably saw him like every day for like 2 or 3 years. Sometimes I didn't hear his conversations, but it was really, really interesting. Then one day he was on the phone and he was like, I mean, I know that it's real. I know that if you don't believe that it's real, it's fine, but we can still be close even if you don't think that it's real. You're still my daughter.
She didn't believe in his demons?
I mean, it sounds like it kind of destroyed their relationship, yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty sad.
It's so sad, but also like good for him for sticking to his guns, you know?
It's cool that you got to see like the whole arc of that.
Yeah. I mean, he's like one of those guys, you know, those older guys where he's just like, oh man, that guy gets so much pussy. He was like jacked, big gray beard, like not his hairline was perfect. It's like down to his fucking eyebrows. And
what, he's like middle aged kind of, or he's like older?
Yeah, he looked like a jacked wizard.
Damn.
Yeah, I wouldn't even listen to podcasts. I was just trying to listen to his conversations.
And he was a professor?
Well, that's the thing is like he was at the Second Cup by the university,
so good. Good chance. I'm picturing him as like, you know, like Indiana Jones like 1, you know, he's in the class and like all the girls are in love with him and shit.
Oh yeah, there's definitely like a lot of like astrology girls who'd given him their flower at one point.
Put a little apple on his desk.
Yeah. No, I never got his name or anything, but at one point, like I tried to talk to him, and it just I could sense that he'd probably done the same thing with me.
Yeah,
because like I had conversations like business, when I'm doing my business.
Yeah, just handling shit.
And like I guess he just didn't get a good vibe off of me and was just like just turned away.
But so he's probably listening on your stuff too, eh? It's kind of cool. That's a cool relationship, just like an unspoken.
Yeah, there's one another lady who would go to the same second cup, and she would go there every day, and we'd always try and fight over the big table, because the big table is like the best one. It's right by the window.
Yeah.
And one day I was there with Charles Haycock.
Okay. Yeah.
And she was like, "So what are you guys doing?" And she just immediately became curious about Charles. And Charles was like, "Well, I'm a comedian, and I like to do yo-yos, and I like to have fun." And then she's like, "That's fascinating. Do you ever need an actor?" And he's like, "What?" And she's like, I'm actually like an actress." And she's like in her 70s or something, and she looks like the lady who makes the super suits in.
Oh, like Velma?
Yeah, she looks. It's kind of like Velma. The super suits in Incredibles. You know that lady?
Oh, not. Oh, what's her name?
Edna Moe.
Edna. Yeah, fuck yeah. Similar haircut. I got them confused.
Yeah, so she gives us like her acting business card.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen like an acting business card, but it's like one of the saddest things in the universe, because it has to be one of their probably 80 headshots.
Yeah.
And then just actor.
There's no other information.
Yeah, and she was in a sailor's uniform.
In the picture on the business card.
Yeah. And she's like in her like mid 60s at least.
Just dressed like Donald Duck.
And it was actor, writer / comedian.
Oh.
And she's like, I actually took a comedy class, and they told me that I was the funniest person that they'd ever seen. And then you kind of realize like, oh, she's just like has the virus of somebody who doesn't have any self-awareness.
Yeah. Or she could have just been doing like a really elaborate bit that might have just went over your head.
I mean, I'd like to think so.
She might just be like a genius comedian.
I did want to see her comedy, because like maybe she talks about me in it, because we saw each other like every day.
Oh, really? This was like recent, or this is a while
It's probably
back?
like 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, damn. You haven't run into her since at any comedy shows?
No, but she was taught by a comedian named Paul Sveen. He used to have a stand-up comedy course at the Yuck Yucks.
Oh, shit.
And she was like name dropping Paul Sveen, like when we were all talking, and she was only really communicating with Charles because she just like became enamored with him immediately.
Yeah.
Even though she saw me every single day, and we just sort of ignored each other, but she saw like a little spark in him.
She was just waiting for Charles to come back.
Oh yeah, and every time I see her, I saw her since then. She's been like, "So what's Charles up to?" It's like, oh, he's fucking a lady exactly like you. She looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
Then he hired her for Spider-Man 5. He was the guy that you've been looking for this whole time.
Yeah, they're filming a movie about an old lady sailor right now. She's wearing the exact same costume as you. That's where you got the idea from, actually, your business card.
Yeah, they're making Lady Popeye, and they were looking for somebody with your exact body type.
Yeah, they just signed like a deal with Netflix or something crazy. They're nominated for a bunch of shit. I think they're getting married too. So wait, this is all the same place. So you got the demon professor and the sailor lady.
Yeah. It was great. I'd be drawing, and I'd get to know so much about their lives, but also like never have to talk to. It was great. That's the best thing about podcasts, is learning about people without having to share anything.
Yeah. Are you learning about me right now, or
I'm sharing a lot?
Yeah, you're sharing a lot, dude. I don't share a lot on here, surprisingly. I don't know. I shouldn't have a podcast, I don't think.
Oh, why? Everybody, it's fun to have a podcast.
I don't know. Yeah, it's fun. It's more. It's more like a video journal almost of this point in my life. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: if I had a video podcast when I was like 21, I would not want to look at it now.
Yeah, that's how I know I'm gonna like these videos will be hidden in the future, I'm sure.
Well, you don't say anything like too horrible on here, do you?
Nah, yeah, it's not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, so that
But who knows?
you have
There
more
might be, some stuff.
You have more of like a survival instinct than I feel like I had at the time.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, well, yeah. You wanted to at the time. I think you were trying to drop the N-bomb right off the top of this thing. Yeah.
Well, I was saying, well, wouldn't that be a fun social experiment?
Yeah, as a social experiment, that would be fun. What would the outcome of that social experiment be? Just losing everything?
Yeah. But you know what? I'd be like, hypothesis proven.
You get all your jobs back. It was social. It was just a prank, bro. I don't know. There might be stuff in here that I've said that might not be acceptable in the future. Maybe. Like I've definitely said like retard and stuff, which actually it's. They say it's not acceptable now, but
yeah, I think retard just came back recently where
it's coming back.
It's like you can't find the perfect word in it's hard to find anything that's just perfect. Like retard feels good coming out of your mouth. It feels amount of so syllables.
Appropriate. Yeah, it's kind of like how I imagine it feels for like a black guy to say the N-word. It's just like fuck. It just feels so perfect.
Hey, and you know what? You're allowed to say it for the same reason.
Yeah. I could roll with that,
dude.
I might start just writing retard in every single one of my jokes. Then when somebody gets mad, be like, "Are you fucking questioning the?"
Then you fall off the stage. You're like,
just land on their table, just like on a bunch of glass and shit. It's like, oh, he's fucking retarded. Never mind.
I remember somebody told me that you like when I was really young that they hated the movie Magnolia because Tom Cruise says the word cunt in it.
Yeah.
And they were like, I just couldn't watch the movie because of the word cunt. And like, that's the first time I'd ever heard the word cunt before.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was like a magic, extra, super bad, horrible thing to say.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, I don't know, cunt became like such a forbidden treasure, you know? And it's only really, really bad if it's towards women, apparently.
Yeah.
If you say it towards a guy, it's like, hey, you're being a cunt. Like, hey, we're buds.
It is kind of weird that is the most offensive. It literally just means like a vagina.
Yeah,
pussy.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird that it's.
But I didn't even hear about it till I was like probably 13 or 14.
Yeah, I think that's only offensive in North America. Because like those the ladies over in the UK, they love slinging cunt.
Yeah.
They like saying it. I don't know.
And also like back in like the Shakespearean times when I imagine it like came out of, they were like searching for like a new word to call women that they hated.
Yeah.
And like it took like literally Shakespeare or somebody to come up with like, dude, I got it. I got the perfect thing.
But yeah, was it used in a different context originally, or like to coin that term is kind of crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it must have felt the first time that they said it must have felt so good when somebody was just being like such a bitch. It's like there's another thing. It's like the bitch. It's like it's too much. It's like she's a cunt, and then it's like everybody, all the candelabras illuminate.
What's that movie with Bradley Cooper where he fucking he takes the pill? Fuck, what is it?
He comes up with cunts.
Well, no, just like when he takes it, like the whole world like lights up. I feel like that's what it was like. The whole room just turned orange or whatever the fuck. What movie was that? What's that called?
That was Invincible. Something Limitless, right?
Yeah. Fuck, that's a dope movie. I think I watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's just about Adderall.
Yeah, I think it's Vyvanse is what that movie should have been called.
And then just like a little 1-800 number to go to your doctor to go get Vyvanse at the end.
That was a commercial for ADHD meds, basically.
I want to stay with the topic of using the term cunt.
Cunt? Yeah, you have more to say on that?
Yeah, because I think that the way that it was actually my mom's friend who said, actually I heard the word cunt from for the first time.
Yeah.
And it changed my world. She was like, it's unfair because women don't have another thing that you get to say to men that are as insulting as cunt. So they're just stuck with like, we get the most brutal thing, and then men, you can't say anything to them that's, calling a guy a dick is like, it's almost funny. Like it's friendly.
Yeah.
And like, they're still coming up with like new horrible, like attempts at saying horrible things about men. Like I remember fuckboy was like popular for a little bit, but that just sounds so cool.
And that can only be directed towards like a certain demographic of men.
Yeah.
Because like if somebody called like you or I a fuck boy, I don't think it would connect.
Yeah. I mean,
cunt
I would
is-
be
cunt is a-
flattered. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
if I take
you
it as
think
a
that I'm a
compliment.
a superhero that has sex?
No, like fuck boy.
You're calling me young, able to fuck, and also like a cool like like 90s style Superboy version.
Oh, that'd make a sick movie. Fuck boy and cunt girl.
Cunt girl is like horrible to be around.
She just fucking annoys all the villains off.
Yeah, cunt is like I still think about cunt like it's such a forbidden fruit.
But it's probably the most universal swear word.
How so?
I don't know. It's I don't know. Like what
Do you have anything to back this up with?
I don't know. It just feels like it can be used like so much like for so much more than some others can. Like you call somebody a bitch. Like that's pretty chill.
Yeah,
Right,
you
but-
know what a bitch is. Where cunt is just like it's only. I think I see what you mean. Like it's just a negative. There's no like, oh, that guy's being a cunt. Like, oh, that guy, he's doing a fun thing that we all like. Like that guy's being a dick is like, oh, he's just like having fun.
Yeah.
With
It was you call a guy a cunt, and it's like okay, it's like we don't take it the same way as like a woman would, but like when a guy calls you a cunt, like it's serious. Like, but when you call a lady a cunt, like that just works. It's like I think it's universally insulting kind of.
Yeah, and also like there's been so many like female writers and like thought leaders in our world. So many different like Jane Austen and like all these amazing women who are writers, and they never came up with a term for men that is equal. It's like they must have thought about it a bunch.
Yeah, what do you think? What holds the title for the worst insult that you could call a guy?
It's still cunt. I think
Yeah,
it
you
might.
think so? It might be.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could be like rapist, but that's more of like an accusation. Than,
Yeah, that's serious. Yeah, probably for a while, like faggot was probably held that title, but
yeah, but then it's like you can't use that one.
yeah, it's no longer universal.
Yeah, because then it's like you're instead of insulting the person, you're insulting like you're just sideswiping like a whole other demographic.
Yeah,
and it's like you're hurting yourself when you use it. Because it says more about you than it does.
Yeah, cunt. Fuck yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Like whenever I'm really mad, like whenever I take my cold baths every morning,
Yeah,
the thing that comes out is like cocksucking cunt.
Yeah.
Like almost like
instinctively,
instinctively. Like those are my swear words that like are just like reflexes.
cocksucker, cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, cunt. It's just like it's just short and sweet. It's
Yeah.
You can get it out quick. It means a lot.
Yeah.
It might be the best. Fuck, I wish I could call this episode "Cunt" featuring Simon Glassman, but
Oh yeah. Also, like it's perfect for if like somebody stabbed you, then it's like that's the only thing you have to get out. Like your esophagus is gonna like close up and you're gonna be dead in a few seconds. All you can do is like you can't be like, hey man, you're a jerk for stabbing me. You can just cunt.
Yeah. You don't have enough breath to get out a 2-syllable swear word.
You can't be like, why, daddy, no.
Yeah, cunt. Fuck it. That might be the. I don't know where to pivot from cunt now, but
I know it's it has that finality of the word itself, where like you feel good after saying it.
it's like a period. Yeah, just like it ends.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little cunt period. That's cool.
If you want, we could end the episode now if you want.
We gotta hit an hour, so we can talk about cunt for 7 more minutes.
Well, let's pivot.
Pivot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all cunted out here.
Do you have any? How are you enjoying doing stand-up comedy in Edmonton?
Dude, I'm loving it, man. I think I'm like 9 months now or something
Nice.
doing it. So I don't close to a year, I guess. We're getting there. Once you hit the year, that's kind of like a little badge. But no, yeah, dude, I'm loving it, man. It's how are you enjoying doing stand up in Edmonton? How long have you been doing it for?
Oh my God, so many years. Since I was like so probably about 8 years, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, how's your enjoyment? Has it dipped and gone up? Or what's
It's
the
definitely
roller
dipped in the
coaster?
past year. I feel like I kind of disconnected from stand up for a little bit because I had some other stuff going on. But like now that I'm just like going to open mics and stuff again, I feel like it's fun. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like I sometimes part of me is like if like nobody existed, if it was just a zombie apocalypse and all that was left was like me and shows and audiences, I don't know if there would be much difference with my behavior. You know, I feel like the scene itself is sort of like this forever shifting like ocean and like different people and different just whole different group of people from when I started.
Yeah.
It's like I've always like remained like I mean, I guess this is everybody, but it's like I'm the only person left from when I started. Like I think Gulliver and I started in the same week.
Oh shit.
And Gulliver doesn't even come out very much. So yeah, I never really stopped going to open mics. I'd still go like once every week or so, even if I totally wasn't feeling it. So,
Well, just to kind of stay tapped in with everything.
yeah, just so like I can still do shows. Like I my fantasy would be to have like a whole month to myself just for writing, because it's like I often will have like a whole bunch of like half finished jokes, and then I think you'll get if you're not already doing this, but like you'll just have jokes that you like, and then you just forget about them.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those. Yeah, just a bunch of shit sitting in the notes. But sometimes I'll go back. You find it like a couple weeks later, or like a month later, or I don't know, maybe even years later. I don't know.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to be like, oh yeah, I like that joke, but also like you have right now I'm not even like all of my writing that I do. I don't think I've written jokes before like 8 p.m. in like 2 or 3 years. Like the idea of sometimes I'll hang out with friends and we'll write together, but like I'm never writing by myself during the day. It's always like the adrenaline of knowing that I'm gonna have to do a show is the thing that is motivating me to write.
You like doing those group writing kind of things? Is that a thing you like, or what's your feeling on that? Because I feel like we're doing it.
Well, it's weird because you're working with people that you may or may not be competitive with sometimes. But I mean, if you're with like really close friends and you guys like, the worst is like when you give somebody a joke and you're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't told them that, because that was the perfect ending to my joke.
Yeah.
But also like whatever, it's better to have like, you know, a bunch of people around.
I don't know. Yeah, it don't. But I feel conflicted because it almost feels like a stolen valor type of thing when somebody else helps you with a joke. Feels like you have like a ghostwriter on your joke.
I mean, I remember Adrian finished off one of my jokes, and it got like a bunch of views on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I remember Adam Dick helped me with a joke, and that was like one of my favorite jokes. I don't care. Like
I've been coming out of that like recently, because Adrian fucking gave me the end to a good end to a joke like recently, like a new one that I've been doing, and I don't know, I feel less weird about it now because like it works, you know, so like I'm happy with that. But yeah, I don't know, I did feel kind of strange about it. It felt like a stolen.
Like somebody stole your joke.
Well, not like stole my joke.
It
feels like it felt less honest, like delivering it as like my own thing.
Well, you'll just forget. Like you'll just tell the joke so much that you'll forget where it came from.
Yeah, maybe I think that's what might be happening. Yeah, just you tell it a bunch and you just convince yourself that you came up with that.
Yeah, I think it's like that's the best, is somebody helping you with a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just more of my own.
Have you ever had somebody tell like a tag that you gave them? It's like so satisfying.
Yeah, or when you give somebody a tag and you're like watching them tell the joke, and then you're like, "Fuck, say it." Yeah.
Yeah. One time I was me and my friend, I gave him a tag to the joke, And like he just sort of, I could tell that he didn't want to say the tag, and then he just sort of whispered the tag.
Yeah.
And it got an applause break. And I could see on his face he was just like so pissed off that and he kept telling the joke without the tag because he felt so principled about how it wasn't that good. Yeah, I love that it was like the joke itself, even without the delivery, he couldn't get away from it being like the best part of it. Yeah, that's satisfying.
I think that I had that happen like recently, like 2 weeks ago with me, and somebody went up and did a tag right after, and then it got a laugh, and then that does feel good. So I guess that is kind of cool if you can kind of do that for somebody else.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm a pretty selfish guy. I don't know. I don't have like a team player mindset all of the time or most of the time. So that I don't know. If that's why I feel like I get more from it if I can say I fully did it on my own. I don't know. I have like a. I don't know. I want to be like independent or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably like the best instinct is to just like not want any sort of input from other people. Yeah, it's like a very objectivist view of stand up. If it's all coming from like this just visceral place inside.
I guess, man. I just some.
I always fantasize about stealing jokes. I remember when I first started, I was like, I'd hear like a joke that I really liked, and then I'd like imagine me saying that instead of them, and it would be so cool.
Yeah.
And like I remember almost like not trying to steal the joke, but like trying to like rework the joke as my joke, or like take like the thought process behind that joke, and then like use that as like scaffolding for like another idea.
Which I don't think that's as all. That's usually, I don't know how much of the, like we're just taking like a whole premise or like a just kind of the loose.
No, I wouldn't really do it, but I'd like think about it.
Think about
like, it's just like if it's like 7 or 8 words that have to be different, then it's like, well, is that even bad? You know?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's certainly more thoughtful than just stealing a joke. I don't know. Kind of changing it.
Yeah, and I know that's like a lot of people's process is just like listening to jokes and then just like changing, like having like a variation of it. And it's like I don't know what the ethics behind that are, but it's like if that's your process for writing jokes, I can't really be like, oh well, you can't do that, because I think I would only really be upset if it was my joke. Like I don't really know if I care if people are stealing jokes that aren't mine.
Like, have you seen people do that often? Like, just kind of see somebody else's joke and then like rework it almost into a different kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first started, somebody told me that was just the way that they wrote jokes, and I was like, I never really thought about it again. But then I'm like, oh, I guess that is sort of like a type of stealing. But I mean, like the genesis of an idea is like it's really hard to like pinpoint like the exact space it was, because it's like what if that is all jokes are, is somebody taking like the basic premise of something and then applying it to something else, because like nobody created like comparisons, which is all jokes are, essentially, or like exaggeration. So it's like, well, if I'm learning like this type of exaggeration from this comic, or like this type of like wordplay, then it's like I'm essentially AI. I'm essentially like taking the way that they think about things, then applying it to a different topic.
Yeah, that is kind of, because it is. Yeah, on the surface, it is technically stealing, kind of, but but you can't really pinpoint what exactly you're stealing. It's technically not. That's kind of. I don't know. Yeah. If you think, there probably is a bunch of people that work like that, then I would imagine.
Yeah, and also like the second that you spend time investigating it too, it's like you've completely wasted your time, because then it's like all you have to do is say like I didn't know. Then it's like, well, then that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. Then, like I remember when the Carlos Mencia thing happened with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I remember, but that was before I started doing stand-up comedy, and thinking like, okay, well, there's the worst thing in the whole world, which is joke thieves, and that's like a type of rat or like shadow creature that's just hiding around comedy clubs and taking an idea and then like pretending like it's theirs. And now I think like, okay, well, like all of us are watching each other's acts. Like probably at one point I was watching probably 4 hours of open mic stand-up comedy every single week. And there's nothing that I could do to prevent it. I was just like, I was having to just wait through everybody. Yeah. And all you're thinking about is like how you can either improve on what they're doing or just admiring them for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, even if you're not directly taking anything from them, you're still directly using their energy to improve yourself. So it's like, even if it's not a joke, you're not stealing, you're just sort of using them as like a reverse idol of like, okay, well, I won't do this.
I get, that's like the same with like music and shit almost too, right? You like any musician, they listen to a bunch of different musicians and you like take little pieces, which I guess is technically stealing, but I think that's all we kind of do as people, right? Just take little ideas from different things that even just their cadence or how they act and
there's no like it's like it's not bad. It's actually very good. It's like if you're synergizing like with other people, and like that's the even as like somebody who likes to be like the sole proprietor of their ideas, like you, it's like it improves you because you are able to just like watch other people all the time and know like even more of like who you are as yourself, you know?
Yeah. With when you started, like you often hear people like when they first start, they kind of like act like somebody, like you kind of subconsciously steal from another. Like
I think that I remember when I first started, I really liked John Mulaney.
Oh yeah,
and then I really liked Chris Locke.
Chris Locke, okay.
Chris Locke, he's a Toronto comic. He's like he's so funny. I remember really liking Nick Nemiroff, who actually died a couple years ago.
Shit, yeah, don't copy him then.
No, especially with never mind. But he passed away, and he was like, he was super super funny.
And what you kind of like, what cadence wise and stuff, you kind of.
I remember Nick would like rub his belly on stage, and I would do that sometimes. What else? Yeah, and you see it in other people, and it's like, you just have to ignore it. Right. Yeah,
but like, what did that kind of go away for you eventually, or kind of just it morphed into what you do now, or?
Well, I think I don't really watch very much comedy, so it's like I'm not like the thing that I'm looking to do as a comedian is probably not to. I'm not like, oh man, I want to be like this guy. It's like I want to go home.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like my biggest influence right now. Usually, I'm just like
just yourself.
Yeah. I don't know if it's myself or it's like I always have this I don't know. It's almost like a conspiracy theory for comics.
Okay.
Because like as you get doing comedy for like a few years, and then you're like you build this persona of yourself on stage, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that persona becomes like this bullet train through the rest of your life, because it's like, oh, you're getting girls from this, you're getting money from this, you're getting everything that you wanted in life, hopefully, from building this persona. It's you, but it's like an extended, exaggerated version of you. And then you're off stage, and it's like, are you Clark Kent or are you Superman? You know, I know that's a like a hacky analogy. But like, are you yourself more on stage, or are you more yourself off stage? There's like lots of comics that I know where I'm like, they are themselves on stage and they're pretending when they're off.
Yeah, how many? But it's rare to see a person who's both on stage and off stage, kind of.
Well, I guess everybody should be like trying to. This is dorky stuff to talk about, but I think it should be like some type of unity between the two. Like, I don't know if I.
It should be like the Hulk from like Avengers, like Endgame, like a fusion of the two.
Yeah, you should be Professor Hulk. Yeah, you should be jacked, but also really thoughtful. So I'm essentially saying everybody should just be Brent Ayton.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's Professor Hulk.
He is. Yeah, that's that's Professor Hulk, dude.
And he's never really had like a persona on stage other than just like a person who's trying to figure out things logically. Like there's no like giant contradiction to him as a person. It's just like somebody who really, really likes the dynamics of writing a joke. And then like, I don't know, maybe I'm sure he has some type of incredible darkness within, but it's like, it's never.
There's some Heath Ledger in there, I would say.
Yeah,
Gotta be. Everybody's got a little Heath Ledger in them, man.
You'd rather die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become Brian Dayton.
That sounds, on surface level, that sounds kind of mean. If somebody just clips that part, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become Brent Aiden.
Yeah, a jacked guy who's really good at comedy. Which is like, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny seeing people's persona, like watching people grow as comedians, and just like you can't really say anything about it. But seeing like their persona become sort of overtake their whole lives.
Yeah.
And then it's like you see how they're dealing with problems and you're like, that is not how you would have dealt with that 3 years ago. But it's like you've made this deal with yourself to become a version of who you are. And so then it's like, well, I can't fake this. I can't be faking other aspects of my life because my whole this whole mask that I wear is already so fake. It's like I have to live sort of in this playground that I built for myself.
Yeah, I definitely have that feeling sometimes where it's like the daytime me and nighttime me. It's like I feel like a vigilante at night, you know, going out and I'm putting on a fucking little mask or something. But some days I feel like that more than other days, like where you feel like you have to turn it on, you know. But
yeah, right now I feel like I'm so disconnected from stand-up that I'm like I'm more myself off stage than I am on stage right now. Whereas like I remember at one point I had like a weird New York accent on stage. Yeah. I was talking like this because I think I saw a comic talk like that. And I remember it was like it went over fine, but I knew that like deep down I was like I was just faking it, you know?
But it was like a conscious decision that you were making to put on the accent, or it would just happen and then you'd take note of it afterwards?
No, it's funny because like I looked at recordings and it's like I think I was also talking like that off stage a little bit too.
Oh,
yeah. It's funny how like I don't know. I think I have a problem with like maybe being like too self-aware sometimes about things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that could have just been me, you know, for the rest of my life. Just I had like a weird like rabbinical accent that I put on to hopefully like make my jokes like 0.3% funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe I was just watching Charles too much and I was just like, I like how he has like an accent and it doesn't feel like an accent, but it is an accent.
Yeah. There's a lot of comics that have a. I think I don't think I have a voice, but like sometimes like I.
No, you have a voice. Yo, I don't have a voice. You have like a froggy, clogged, like you definitely have a voice. Jules Belufi has like a fantastic voice. I'm like, she has just a completely perfect voice, like for comedy. And it's also that's just how she talks, but it's like.
But yeah, it's amped up, like it's turned up a little bit, right? When she's
I'm Jules Belufi, and this is how my dog had diarrhea.
That just sounded like Adam Sandler, dude.
Yeah, that's all the accents I can do.
Just Adam.
Yeah, like my age group of Jewish person only has like
you got one voice.
There's only a very small toolbox.
I'm Jules Belufi, and also boogity boo.
You got a small toolbox and a huge fucking wallet.
Huge wallet, giant dick.
Is that a thing Jewish people are known for? Giant dicks?
Yeah, man.
Sick.
Thanks.
First I'm learning of this. Fuck.
Who else has like an interesting voice? Because that's kind of all I pay attention to. Because I'm not really listening to jokes very much.
In terms of local people who's got a voice, Leo's got a voice.
I'm Leo. I was fucking missionary normal style.
He's just trying to just do his bits.
Yeah. I'm fucked.
Who else?
Don't do it.
Who else has a voice? Dalbier's got a voice.
Yeah, he's got. You're trying to trick me into doing that voice.
Yeah, dude.
Won't happen again.
You don't got one of those locked and loaded in your little toolbox.
Oh man, it's on the shelf.
It's in there, dude.
Do you notice that? Like the thing that maybe it's just like I'm looking at comedy too autistically, but it's like the voice is the most important part.
Well, yeah, because like the voice, it's not like you're not speaking in like your normal cadence, but then also in a voice. It's like the voice helps you speak in the certain cadence and like how you write and shit, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean by like when people are so upset about AI comedy, but it's like a lot of the time when I'm writing, I am thinking about how other people would write it, or I'm thinking about how other people would like perceive it, or like how somebody would like, oh man, this person would love this joke, or like this person would hate this joke. So it's like you're still going through all of the same like models that AI would be doing.
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah, there's a lot of shit just kind of subconsciously influences you when you're. I don't know. I was trying to say something deep right there, but I don't.
No, it's okay.
I think you said it. You said it perfectly.
Ask me to do another voice. I could do it.
Like of a local person that
has a good voice.
Ah, fuck. Who's got a?
I hate it when people have too much authority in their voice. It makes it comedy less funny.
Well, when they just like sound like mean and kind of.
They're just like, and this is how it is. They have like that news anchor cadence almost. No, I don't want to say who I'm talking about, but
I feel like I know who you're talking about. Maybe I don't know. I might be wrong, but
you should have a bibliography for who we're secretly talking shit about. Just at the end of the episode, like, this means this person.
Yeah. I guess the last like probably 10 minutes of this was mostly references to people that a lot of these listeners maybe don't know. But
yeah, but what
else? That's for them to fucking.
Do you think that it's mostly just like Adrian listening and being like, I hope he mentions me? Oh my god!
I think there's a lot of people that listen to see if I don't know. I don't talk a lot about the Edmonton comedy scene a lot, so I'm not name dropping a ton.
Right.
So sometimes
I've been name dropping. Mentioned Jules Belufi.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dalbier. Yeah, people are gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh my god, they know Jules Belufi."
No, it definitely does feel cool though when you like. I've had my name dropped on podcasts before, and it's just like, ooh, I'm just like listening to it at work.
What podcasts?
I don't know. I think probably most of the Edmonton comedy podcasts. I guess. Like,
do you listen to all of them?
Sometimes, like man, I get like 10 minutes into a decent amount of them.
Nice. What are the other podcasts going on?
Got the Chrome Boys. They were on the last episode of this one. They're killing it. Shout out the Chrome Boys. You got Barry's Basement.
Barry's Basement is...
That's Adrian and Leo's.
Okay.
Also recorded out of this location. Same microphones.
This podcast studio.
Yeah, we have the same audio quality now. Before I moved in, they just had like one. I think they had a room mic, and
I said I didn't want to do that one
because the audio.
No, just because I wanted to. I just wanted to say no to Adrian.
Damn, sucks to suck for Adrian.
Dude, it felt so good.
Fuck! I want to get to that point where I can. I guess
when you can turn down local podcasts.
No, I just feel like,
dude, it is a golden mountain.
No, you got the Von Dubcast too. Oh yeah, I did an episode on the Von Dubcast, so go listen to that as well. Who else has one? I think that for like the open mic guys, local guys. I
don't think that there's many people doing podcasts. Yeah, this is where I get my news now. I'm just gonna listen to you and Von Dub and just be like, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
I think the Von Dubcast is more about the Edmonton comedy scene. I don't get into it a ton, but
yeah, sorry I talked about it comedy so much. I wasn't sure what the format
I think
was.
on the comedy, I like the comedy talk is good. I think people like listening to it.
Yeah, I have other opinions about other stuff.
Yeah,
dude, I got so many fucking opinions, bro. Oh, fuck.
What time does that show start at? Is it 9?
9, do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, we're at like an hour 20, so we could honestly
okay.
Wrap it up there, and then you can come back on a future date and talk more opinions.
Okay. Yeah. Anytime.
Nice. Sick. Well, you can
Hi,
shout out.
I'm Brandon Peters, and man, oh man, my podcast is now over. Thank you. You know, the thing that is holding the iPhone looks like it's a little boy.
Oh yeah, it's like there's a little statue of a baseball player.
It's like
and
we're
there's-
being spied on by an elf.
Yeah, it kind of does look like he's holding it. Yeah.
And then there's a cowboy in the background just approving.
Yeah, this podcast is being filmed by an elf on the shelf right now. So, yeah, my name's Simon Glassman, and yeah, you want to shout anything out? You got some? You want to shout out your hacked Instagram account?
No, I mean, no, I don't have anything to promote.
Okay, he's got nothing to promote, but I asked him, so I look like a good guy now. All right, we can just.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yes. All right, yo, thanks for listening, and adios, cunts. Peace out.